Sure, absolutely, yeah.
I'm not sure if I am supposed to be here tonight or not. We're doing an application, or we submitted it to Pam. I don't know. I know we're supposed to be here in 2 weeks, but I don't know if we should be here tonight as well.
Anything, what's your,
The undercar, I'm sorry, the, change of zoning for the building
on which,
on 386 Main Street.
okay, that, well, we've got it on our agenda, but what it is to put it at the, for public hearing at our next meeting, so we're
Right,
not
so
gonna,
I'm wondering if the,
No,
like,
no,
as
you don't
owners,
need
if
to
we
be
should be here tonight or not.
you do not need to be here, yeah.
But it's nice to see you, Shannon. Yeah, you didn't have to come,
I'm
but.
sorry, I left you a voicemail later in the day, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I should be here or not, but, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't
No, that's
look
fine.
around the
Yep.
room.
No, good.
Okay, so don't come. Well, not
No,
don't come, but like I shouldn't be here.
I mean, unless we wanna ask any questions, but usually it's next meeting. Yep,
Okay.
so the
You can
public
hang
hearing.
out and get a feel for it.
If you want, this is gonna be a real light agenda, so it'll take like a minute probably to go through things.
Okay,
You're welcome
I might
to
stay
stay.
for a tiny minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my daughter to sleep soon, but.
Okay, thank you. Everybody ready to go?
Yeah, I think so.
All right,
Did you?
call, yeah, it's on.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. We'll call the Monday, January 23rd, 2023 Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting to order. Roll call, I'm George Clausen, the chairman. Peter Marchand is expected to be late. John Cooney is to my right. Craig Sand is absent excused. Willie Platt is here. Troy Lemire called in. He's not going to be able to be here. Charlene Lavoy also not available. Adam's here. Quaglieri, how do you pronounce it?
Quagliaroli?
Quagliaroli, okay, all right, as alternates. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna seat you tonight, Adam, in, one of the open positions. And, public comment, anything has to be added to, beyond what our agenda is? Okay. Agenda review, anything here that needs to be addressed or changed? Okay, we don't have any public hearings. The, number 5, 23-1 special permit, what's that?
So that was one that was, last week, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, had come in on the OpenGov. They still don't have their full application ready, but, they hope to by the end of this week, and so hopefully we can hear it in 2 weeks at the.
So we'll just move this to the,
So bump
to
it
the
one
next,
more time.
Okay. All right, so that's 5A6, new business, PZC 23-2, special permit, applicant Steve Dew, Chairman, Soldiers Monument Commission, owner, Town of Winchester, location 8184 Crown Street, proposal public recreation facility at an approximate 10 by 12 shed. This needs to be added to our, the next meeting agenda, so we could have a motion to advertise and put it in for a public hearing. And we need a second. Second from Adam. Any comments, discussion? All in favor? Okay, so, next meeting.
Take that action tonight. Can we, go for a building permit yet?
So you'll have your public hearing in 2 weeks, and then if it's approved, yes. So yep, so it'll be the public, will be the building permit next steps.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks again for coming.
all right. That's it, that's brief. Leave the car running, right?
See you in a couple of weeks.
See you later. All right, drive carefully. All right, the next is PZC 23-3, special permit applicant Shane Centrella and Shannon Centrella, owner Alpha Life LLC, 386 Main Street, proposal 386 for mixed use, 2 retail, 1 personal service, 1 retail recreational facility, commercial. This is a special permit application, so this again needs a motion from the commission to put it on our next meeting. Okay, Peter, Willie made the motion
I can second.
and seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, so now that'll be advertised and it'll come up to the next meeting. It'll be a public hearing, so then you can make your presentation.
Would you like to ask them any questions or
I think it'll
clarify
be-
anything that maybe that was on their application?
No, I think we'll take care of it that night.
Okay.
Unless it doesn't sound like it's too complicated. All right, very good.
So thanks
Thank you
anyways.
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, discussion, this is 7, other business discussion regarding codification project for town regulations and ordinances. We want to hold that for the next meeting?
Yes, please. So Michael's more than willing to kind of go over that, but I thought without having the full board, it's not gonna be that productive of a conversation.
Yeah, I
So
think
let's
that's a
just
good,
wait.
good idea. Okay, so we'll move this to the next meeting as well. The number 8 is approval of minutes. It's January 9th, 2023 minutes, which are included in the handouts there. Let's see, who was, Charlene was absent excused, so we'll need a motion to approve this.
I can make a motion to approve meetings from January 9th, 2023.
Okay, we have a second?
A second.
Okay. Any discussion? Any corrections, additions, changes? All in favor? Okay. Communications. Well, first of all, I think everybody's been copied on this letter that came in from Sheila Gentry from 18 Upland Road. So you're following up on that, Lance, right? You're gonna do
Yes.
that?
And
You think
Willie,
it's not the health center? You think it's?
just from where her house is, I'm thinking it's the, originally was what the nurses' facility was, that building, Expeditions or
Yeah.
the school?
Exploration.
Explorations, thank you. So yeah, Michael and I will go take a look at it and see. I have a feeling that's probably what she's complaining about, but Willie also put it in my ear that, behind the health center, there may be something to look at
Well,
as
there's a
well.
parking area that extends out, and that drops off, and I think that might be part of the,
Okay.
might not be, but you might take a look at it.
We'll look at it and record and see what we see.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on the communications?
No, I'll follow up. There is a land use academy training, that's happening for fair and affordable housing. I would recommend that, and I'll send it around again as it gets closer, that we attend. We do have to do some training, so this would count towards our credit. And it's only an hour and a half, and it's a webinar that's free. And Mark Brandt's probably all familiar with.
Yeah.
Michael uses them a lot for attorney
Mhm.
referrals or whatever.
Mhm.
So I was planning on attending it anyways, but if everybody on the board
Do you
is
remember
willing
what the
to.
date is? I forget.
It's February 16th,
Okay.
so
If you could just send a reminder.
3 weeks.
And
Yep.
what the connections are, that'll
Yep.
be good.
And there'd be a link to sign up on?
yeah, actually I included it here, but if you need
Okay.
it, I'll send it in an email too. And then I don't really have much to report. Did everybody get my email from? Okay,
Got them all day.
we won't talk about it. Just as long as everybody got it. I didn't get any response from anyone, so I was like, uh-oh, maybe they didn't receive it.
We're not familiar with all kinds of,
As you know, I wanted to have a little more fun with that, but I figured I'm just going to keep it very factual, very sort of to the point, because I did have the press interested as well when they listened to our meeting from last week. So I will forward that on to them,
Okay.
unless you saw something that was a concern that I shouldn't be sharing. But most everything is there. It's just truly factual. What happened the past 3
well,
months
you,
with
yeah,
conversations.
I think, first of all, we're not looking over your shoulder unless something,
No, it's just difficult. Like I mentioned to George, it's hard to have a conversation with you guys because it's either, an email that can be FOIA'd, so I have to be a little bit cautious what I write. And then, all of our meetings are recorded and we have minutes. So
Sure.
I don't have any opportunities to have just regular people conversations with you.
yeah, no, that's true.
So I'm trying, at least with this, as kind of, you can see obviously it's not everything that comes into our office.
Sure.
We're helping people all the time with just these little projects.
Sure.
But that's the big overall things are for planning we're actually working on for town.
Okay. All right.
So it's been good, but busy.
Okay.
Looks like it.
I
saw that.
That's good to get some information, though, so we have better sense of what's happening. Your report?
Other than what I wrote in the email, nothing new other than today. We did have a site visit at the Winstead Health Center. You're going to get, in a few months, you're going to get plans to review. The general is they're trying to go for an affordable housing plan, 40 units, and utilizing all 5 floors. I hadn't realized that the hospital had been empty as long as it's
Long
been.
time.
It's not in tough shape, but it's tired. So it's going to be a good reuse,
Well, it's an
readaptive
old
use of the
building,
building
yeah.
for sure.
As we say in real estate, it needs some TLC.
Yeah. There's an interesting partnership potential with the college. Maybe you know artisan space that they want to use for a wood shop, leather shop, metal shop. And it would be a lot of training for the people that are living on the facility, but it would be available to the outside, and especially the college students. So I put it in their ear because you already told me traffic study is going to be a key one, especially with the new Hinsdale project in the intersection. Another one is going to be parking, and they are well aware of the challenges. So
Yeah, it's got
They're not-
limited, yeah.
this is very preliminary discussions that we've had. We had one meeting with them we do have a development review team. It was good. People like Jim Rollins from Public Works Department, Josh Kelly, myself, Michael Stankoff from the wetlands, even though there won't be any wetlands impact on this, but in zoning. Who else was in the meeting? Oh, obviously Jamie Legacy, who's acting as our fire chief, is fire chief and acting as our fire marshal at the moment. So we had a very good first discussion with them, and then I had asked Chris, what's Chris's last name?
Oh, the public, or the manager up there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, shucks. I just talked to her a few times today. I forgot now. Sorry, Chris, if you're listening. So Chris had offered me a tour because I had never seen other than what became the homeless shelter on the first
Yeah,
floor.
right.
So I had extended an invitation. It was great because then the 2 architects, Paul and Charles, were there too to just kind of go over the plans.
Who else participated today?
So mostly it was for Bill Petroface, our building official who couldn't make the initial meeting, and Michael, who was also not. So it was kind of geared towards them and then getting out some of the most common questions and concerns they may
So
have.
just the architects and,
Yeah, it was the architects, Chris, myself, Jay Case came, John, who's from the college, Northwest Community College, and I forget John's last name, sorry if he's watching, and, Jamie from the fire department. So I was hoping, Peter, I'd extended an invitation. I can have 2 of you at a time without it being a legal meeting, so I extended an invitation to George and Peter, but I was hoping Peter might come just from the fire department, but we pretty much had it covered with Jamie, so it was fine.
okay, all right. Yeah, I apologize, I
No, that's okay.
couldn't get
And like I
there.
said, this is going to be coming in. We'll probably be talking about it for the next few months, and then they'll finally have a public hearing. in a
And
while, but-
what kind of housing is this gonna be?
Affordable housing is what they're going for the funding, but there's a little spin to try to do for veterans. That's
And
the goal.
Because these are hospital rooms up there, so what are they talking about, just gutting the floors?
Pretty much gutting it. Even the hallways, everything's going to change.
There's a lot of reclamation they've got to do up there. That was one of the concerns we had when I was one of the trustees. And there was never any money to do anything.
The
Well, that's
interesting
interesting.
thing of the way it was constructed, and this is where I'm learning a little bit more, is it's like over capacity for weight and everything else. So actually, functionally wise, there's a lot, what they planned would work. So
Did they describe what like the concept of what they're gonna do on the outside?
a little bit of modifications to the outsides, especially the building. I guess if you're looking to the left, to the right will pretty much stay the same, which is currently being used by a doctor's office, I
Yes,
believe.
yes.
With there'll be a rooftop community space built in that will be, I believe, that'll be enclosed, and then there'll be an above open gardens. It's actually very creative. I have to say, Paul, who's the architect, did a really nice job with the plans.
What's his last name?
Thank you. I had his card in my wallet until today. It's on my desk. But I think he's out of Farmington. And he did the senior housing that's attached.
Oh, okay.
And this is a good question for you guys. This came up today. Were there any conditions that you remember with that development for parking being allowed on the hospital, on the
I don't
Health center?
recall. You'd have
Okay, I have to look
Something
that
like
up, but I was just curious since you might remember.
That's a lot of years ago.
Yeah. We did check the deed, there's no restrictions for, that, you know, wouldn't allow for what they're planning.
Well, they'll have to put together what their expectation is for who would
Mhm.
be in there and then how much parking they really need.
Mhm.
That's one of,
What's gonna happen to the VA facility?
I think they're keeping it. You mean for the medical services?
Yeah,
I believe that's part of the plan to
That will
still
stay there?
provide that, yep.
good.
You have to like temporarily relocate a homeless shelter and then whatever services are there.
So the shelter will run out middle of April.
April, yeah.
And to be honest, we're gonna have to talk about it again through zoning. And, you know, I'd love to encourage a regional partnership, especially with Torrington, because all the amenities are there.
Yeah.
And if it made sense for the town to be involved, maybe find a place still in Torrington, or if there's something else in town that's more
Well,
appropriate.
it's gotta be in harmony with what the rest of the quarters are gonna be up there too.
You know.
It's temporary in and out, you know, at night and out first thing in the morning. May not work.
Supposedly, when I heard from Brian Mattiello, who came for the presentation, it's going smoothly. It's actually
No, I'm
one
just
of the
saying,
better
when-
ones
if
in
you
the
had
state.
housing up there, it might not.
Yeah, I
integrate that
don't
well.
believe that Hartford Hospital will be continuing that partnership.
Oh, okay.
That space will be
Well, that's something to
dedicated
be,
housing
have
as well,
to
too.
be discussed, but
right.
if there's a thought of utilizing that space as well, because that's a pretty good sized area.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Was there anything else I could think of? Shucks. Oh, tomorrow, I just wanted to remind you, I'm hoping both of you will
1
be able to
o'clock,
attend.
right?
Yeah,
I'll
1
be
o'clock,
there, yeah.
212, West Wakefield Boulevard. I'd love for you guys to go, but you can't. But we'll give you a heads up on what it's about. This is that application for the house being redone.
Yeah, on
And
the water.
I'd like to come, but I have an appointment.
Okay. So, it's gonna be a lot of eyes on this project, so we'll see what they say.
I won't be there, to be honest with you.
Hopefully
Should be
we'll go
interesting what
smoothly.
they propose to do.
Yeah.
All right, good. Any other,
You mentioned training before.
Yeah,
How many hours of training are we supposed to have?
good question. So if Michael was here tonight, you'd be able to tell me. I forgot. I think it's not a lot. It's not a huge requirement. It's like 4 to 6 hours a year.
this is the new
For-
law that came through
I
that's
think so.
in regards to us?
And you probably got the invite from the Connecticut Bar Association
Yeah, that,
for the 8 hours.
yes, for a Saturday.
Would that count for training?
That would.
How many of the hours count? Because I read that and it said, it's 8 hours, but it says 1 hour will count towards your, and I didn't understand.
Oh, I didn't read that part.
Yeah, so I'm like, you sit there for 8 hours and you get an hour of credit? That sounds,
Doesn't make sense.
but I don't know if they were talking about.
This is the one in Middletown?
It's gonna be a
This is gonna
webinar,
be,
like it
Zoom.
was last time.
Oh, it was,
Yeah.
okay. I-
Yeah.
Can
Let
you
me have a-
forward that, because with my new email, you've got my new email,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't, because I didn't see that.
Oh,
And I've
Let-
always had the same email, but after it got crashed here, I don't
I
know.
think I actually got a reminder about it today. Maybe I was
Yeah,
sick or
so
something.
I'm
But
not-
this
I'm not
is,
seeing it.
this counts towards it too as well.
It would.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find things that are free. We do have a budget for training, though. So if we have to spend some money, that's fine. But I'm trying to find anything that's offered free that's not too painful to. and actually, I think that one that's being proposed on the 16th. There's 2 others, but this is the one I thought for you guys would be very important.
Good.
I think that's it.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Okay, so the next meeting, we've got a couple items on here, well, actually 3. Have we received a copy of this 23-1?
Not yet. So that's the one that just came in through OpenGov. That's why it had to get posted.
Okay.
But we don't have any supporting materials yet. But you should, hopefully, in this next packet,
Okay,
as
just
long
so
as
we
that
know
comes
we're
in
dealing
this
with
week.
And that's gonna be actually to move it to another date, because we haven't set it up for a public hearing.
Right.
All right.
That's a good question. How long before, like, let's just say if they don't submit again, do we just take it off the agenda?
Well, do you have a application?
We have just the application, but nothing, there's no survey, there's no.
Well, we can
site plan.
deny it without prejudice, and then
Okay.
it stays, you know, as far as fees and everything else, they just, it applies.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, you gotta file it because you gotta put it in motion,
Mhm.
but if it's incomplete, we're not gonna keep playing with it for a month or two.
How long do you normally get?
Well, I mean, you gotta know what's playing out there. If
Hmm.
you've got something you're expecting, then let's keep it moving. If
Okay.
it's not, then, let's be fair to them as well.
Okay.
But I don't know why they'd even make an application without their paperwork. Doesn't make
Michael has
sense.
been kinda handling, he's been in contact with Wendy, I'm sort of
No, I
out of the loop
understand.
a little bit on this one, but
But then he
I'll
could
keep pursuing it.
possibly fill in the blanks here when
Yep.
you've got something like that that's open, because I haven't seen anything.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else have any comments, questions? Okay. Motion to adjourn then.
All right.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Okay,
Second.
second, all in favor? Thank you. All right. 21 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a second subcommittee invite?
I'm trying to set records.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense just to sit around. I'm gonna text Peter that there's no point in stopping.
I gave you the minutes from, the subcommittee meeting, so you're welcome to
Oh, okay.
review them. These are things that we'll be talking about again.